Okay. All right. 9.3, second reading. We tabled the second reading of policy GCF and GCF-R professional staff hiring during January's board meeting. Do I hear a motion to take this back from the table?
Madam Chair, going off script a little bit, I move that we table the motion before the board, continue tabling of the motion before the board, in lieu of the development of an ad hoc committee to formulate the policy revision of GCF and GCF-R. This committee will be comprised of 3 board members nominated by the board chair and approved by the board to consist of not more than 1 board officer. The ad hoc committee will designate its operating procedure in accordance with governing South Carolina laws and procedures for the specific purpose of policy revision. Upon conclusion, the committee will report back to the entire board for second reading and vote. This motion is in compliance with board policy BBC, board committees. And I have prepared it so y'all can actually take a look at it, because I know I explained a lot there.
All right. We have a motion from Dr. Guyton to table this in order to form an ad hoc committee to evaluate, I'm giving a summary, evaluate the policy. Do I have a second so that we can discuss this? A second to his motion.
I'll second. This is Jada.
Thank you, Ms. Garris. All right, now we can talk about this for just a minute. So give us a quick summary again, Dr. Guyton.
So as we, for whatever reason, this policy has kind of spurred a lot of conversation, which I think has been very helpful, quite frankly. I think it has engaged us as a board. But what I think it unfortunately creates is a clunkiness about the way in which we develop approve policy. You know, one of our governing orders is for policy development. And sometimes that means that we have to be boots on the ground. We have to better understand all sides of the policy that we're attempting to develop. I can imagine what a challenge that can be for SLT and everybody else here to try to get inside of our heads and ask, you know, and think of what kind of questions we're going to ask and all of these other things. And so for me, this is an opportunity for us to, because we're under no time crunch here, this is a chance for us to walk through a policy development that would be board-driven, that would include key stakeholders, that would include members of SLT, would include whatever departments may be involved, and would allow us to better fully develop and understand a policy. Because the last thing we want to do is create bureaucracy for the sake of creating bureaucracy. We want to marry the practice of the business of the school district with the policy. And I'll be quite frank, sometimes I understand that and sometimes I don't. And this would be one of those situations where I would like to better understand so that we could implement an effective policy.
Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Guyton about this? Are y'all clear about what he has proposed? Yeah.
I guess my question is for Mr. Stacey and Dr. Little. Is there any need, because obviously this policy we've been talking about for a couple cycles, is there any operational need of not approving this policy tonight that we put at risk?
No, sir, because we just continue to operate under the existing policy.
Okay, so we don't feel like there's any risk not moving forward?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So we have a motion and a second to table the policy and create, do we want to do that in the same motion and create the ad hoc committee? No, I think we have to do those separate, don't we? Okay. We have a motion to.
Well, the motion's already tabled,
Okay.
so we're just not taking it back from
We're
the
not going to
table.
take it back from the table. Okay. Does that make the 8 weeks start over? Do we have to, Mary Beth, do you know, Ms. Hill? No? So we won't expire on this policy if we don't? Okay. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, so the motion is to create the ad hoc committee to evaluate the policy. Is that correct? Am I right, Dr. Guyton?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We have a motion and this is new territory. I'm figuring this out.
It's
So-
all good.
We're doing this together. Thank you for bearing with me. So we have a motion and a second to create an ad hoc committee for the purpose of really analyzing and constructing this policy in a better way. So according to the language that Dr. Guyton has provided. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. Thank you. Anyone opposed? Thank you. All right, the motion carries. Okay, so we will figure out the members of this ad hoc committee and nominate them at the next meeting, or would you like to, should we do that now? I'm not prepared to do that at this point in time. I think that we should wait.
I would,
I don't know that we can.
Okay, all right. Okay, so, board members, if you are interested in serving on this committee, this ad hoc policy design committee, please let me know, and we will work on getting a slate of committee members together before the March meeting.
And Madam Chair, I don't think that requires board vote to establish. You've established the committee, so to create the members, I don't think you would have to do that at a board meeting.
I think we have to have board approval of the members, according to BBC.
You do, I thought you had to have approval of the committee, is that correct?
The way I read it was, I did double check it,
Well,
but
it
it doesn't
can't-
mean I'm right.
Right, and it couldn't hurt to have two.
I mean, I'm fine.
Hold on. I do the same thing when I'm at work and I don't know what I'm looking at on a kid. I'll run out and tell them, hold on, and I'm actually out looking at Google. That's a joke, everybody. I don't really do that. That I admit to. All right, BBC, in addition, the chairman may appoint, subject to board approval, special temporary committees when the need arises.
So that's the actual committee, which
Policy
we just
BB
approved, but not
Policy
the members of the
BBC
committee.
board committees, and I would label this as a special temporary
Okay,
committee, as
okay.
an ad hoc
All right.
committee.
Okay,
Right, so you've gotten permission to do the committee. So.
okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Guyton, for being prepared with that. Okay, so that was GCF and GCF-R, so they stay on the table.